been like inside the walls?
Oh, no, it's been okay. Obviously, we've got another opportunity to play well at our first home game for us. I know we had a good look at it last week, but looking forward for our fans to get here in force tomorrow and cheer a home game for us. So we've certainly reviewed last week's game, some areas that we have to get better at. I'm sure we'll see a better fourth-quarter performance tomorrow.
Brenton, you haven't... Oh, sorry, you guessed it.
I was just going to say, what are you looking for specifically then?
Well, a win, obviously. We need to be better for 4 quarters. We're playing some good footy, but only in small patches. So we've played 2 games against 2 good sides where we've hit the front, and then we haven't been able to go on with it. So 5 changes at selection, a couple forced, but some opportunities for some guys who haven't played yet, and I'm sure we're going to see a better 4-quarter performance from the entire side.
Brenton, you obviously made a couple of tough calls. Where's Jason Porplesia just at the moment?
Oh, he's got to go back and play well in the State League, and they get a great opportunity being... having the State League playing on Sunday. He can go back and play where we want him to play, coached by our coaches and playing our style. So he'll be back. He's too good a player. It's only round 3. I'm sure he'll be back in our side before too long.
And Sam, sorry.
And you've admitted some tools this week. Are you going for a slightly smaller side?
Maybe, yeah. I think, when you sometimes look at the team and you think, where it looks like we're too tall or too small, it depends a little bit about how we structure up. So at times it'll look like we're small in our forward line. At times it'll look like we are tall enough. But we've got plenty of options. We can throw some guys back, some guys forward. The talls and small thing doesn't really worry us. It's about the competitors who can fight to keep the ball inside our forward 50.
A couple of those guys who've dropped have had a few opportunities now at the top level. Do football players have a finite number of lives in terms of trust from the coach?
Not so much, no. We certainly pick players based on form. The guys we bring in are real competitors and they're going to give us a contest. But you can't play too many poor games in the modern game and stay in the side. Certain guys have credits as well. That they might play a couple of average games, but you know that they're good players and they're going to bounce back. Other guys we just restructure and have a look at how we're going to line up. But ultimately we pick a 22 who we think are going to win. So, for example, Matt Crouch comes into play his first game. What a great opportunity for a first gamer to come in one of the most important games for the club.
Danger's obviously one of those guys with a few credits in the bank. What's the vibe been like from him this week? You reckon he'll bounce back?
No, he'll be fine. He puts a lot of pressure on himself already. I know there's been external pressure on him this week. He's still going to have a really fantastic season, I'm sure. He's such a proud footballer with so much ability. You won't be able to hold him down for too long. And hopefully this week he comes out and can win us the game. That's the Cinderella story. But we just need Danger to play his role, and I'm sure we're going to see a fantastic game from him tomorrow and for the rest of the season.
Have you impressed on the players the importance of this week? A 0-3 is very hard to get back from.
Not really. You don't say that's very negative to come in and say to the boys, if we lose this week, we're 0-3. That's a very negative mindset to go in with. But we've picked a side that we think can win. From a strategy point of view, we've got some ideas that we think we might be able to expose Sydney in different areas. But ultimately, we just need to play well for 4 quarters. We can't just turn up, get away to a slow start, work our way back into the game, and then not finish it off. We've got to start well. We've got to make sure that our tactics that we go in with can be sustained for 4 quarters. And we've seen now the competition's so even. You can't play in fits and spurts. You've got to play 4 quarters.
Sydney so far. I think a lot of us are surprised that they're 0-2 as well.
Oh, they're a great side. We've got so much respect for Sydney. Probably along with Geelong and Hawthorn, they've been the 3 best sides over the last probably 10 years. They're going to come here obviously breathing fire as well. They won't want to start the season 0-3 like we don't. So we certainly respect them. They're a really hard contested side. They love to tackle. They'll make it really ugly at times with the way that they play, which is fine. We've got to look for ways to try and exploit that as best we can.
And you've been sticking with Pods Adelaide. Is there much pressure on him this week just to perform well?
Oh, there's pressure on players every week. You can't go into a game thinking, I hope I don't play bad this week. Professional footballers now, they're so driven. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. We have to ensure that we get a better even contribution from 22 players. We can't rely on just 6 or 7 to get it done this week.
How is he personally coping? Is he going to concerned?
No, he's fine. He's experienced. He's a premiership player. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll certainly contribute tomorrow, I'm sure.
Brenton, I know you get asked every week, but having a good close look at him today, Tex looks closer than ever. Is that the way you're feeling?
Yeah, I think he's not far away. You know, I can't put a round on it. You know, it's going to be this round or that round, but he looks really close.
Round a bit good.
Yeah, I think he'll play footy before too long. Yeah, I'm not sure what round though, but it looks like he's not too far away.
Brendan, a little bit simplistic, but are you still feeling good about the season, or are you getting a little bit nervous?
I'm always nervous, even even in pre-season or even in round 20. You know, if you're sitting on top of the ladder, you always have anxiety about what's ahead. But I'm really confident with our squad, with our depth, and the way that we play is going to be sustainable for 22 rounds. I'd love to have a fit squad available to pick from. We haven't, but the players we've picked, I'm sure are going to have a red hot go tomorrow. And if we're good enough, we'll win. If not, then we start the season next week being 0-3. You know, with every game being really important.
And who looks like they'll be facing Buddy this week?
Variety guys. Hardigan, Rutten, and Talia is the obvious one. They're probably the three guys that can handle it. But Buddy's a fantastic player. We know he can turn the game individually. So, but they're probably the three players who will have a crack at some point during the game.
I know you're expecting a pretty contested sort of a game this weekend. Matt Crouch, you expect him to thrive in those sort of conditions?
Yeah, this game was built for Matt. I mean, he's a contested ball player. He's a tackler. He loves it hard. So yeah, at some point in the game tomorrow, he's going to have an influence for sure.
He seems like a pretty quietly spoken sort of a guy. I wouldn't expect the debut to overrun him. How do you see it?
No, he'll be fine. I mean, obviously, he hasn't played in front of a crowd like this at a stadium like this before. But no, he'll be fine. You know, the Crouch kids are made of the right stuff. We saw what Brad did last year when he came into the side. I'm sure Matt's not going to be much different. You know, he'll be fine. He'll have some pre-game nerves, I'm sure. But once the game gets underway, he'll be fine.
Can I just get a quick line on the stats? So they're playing the first game. How do you think it's gone? And maybe also about Ian, how he's handled his role?
No, it's really exciting for our footy club and for our fans. I mean, there's 2 games of footy on this week that our fans can go and watch. Come and watch us play Sydney here tomorrow, Saturday, and then obviously duck out to Prospect Oval to watch us play North Adelaide on Sunday. So what it provides for us is a great opportunity for our coaches to coach our players playing our game style, and we can play players in the position that we want to, and that is helped by a guy like Ian Callanan, who's experienced, and he can actually help our young players develop in those roles.
Besides that, Keenan, how did he get delayed concussion?
Looks like he got a knock in the first quarter. He started to get some symptoms in the third quarter. He had his eye tested late in the third quarter, and if you go back in the game, we didn't start him on the field at the start of the last quarter, and I think it was about the 10-minute mark we brought him on. But yeah, he was one that got worse and worse after the game and early last week. So when he did the concussion evaluation early last week, it showed that he had some symptoms, but it looks like he might have got a knock early in the game. Still played the game and played okay, but yeah, it's a shame because sometimes those things you can't pick up till later in the game or early in the week. So yeah, he'll have a week off and no footy this weekend.
Want to stay connected with the Crows? Like us on Facebook.